What is going on, Movie Meals? Movie Meals, Star Wars celebrations here, which means Lucasfilm gets to dabble in some indie, and then they mostly focus on Star Wars. They've announced a ton of stuff that we'll talk on the podcast this week about uh, movies and whatnot. But Ahsoka is the footage that they've come up with, or like came out with right away, which makes the most sense. Comes out in August. I'm excited for Ahsoka. I trust Dave Filoni. I'm curious to see what Dave does when he's got doesn't have Jon Favreau with him 100% of the time. Taking over everything. And so I'm really interested to see what this is. Thank you, Moonmeal patrons. Go get some merch. It's all linked down in the description. Sorry for filming Rogue, but we're here to do it. Kyle, you got any thoughts on Ahsoka?
Why do we have this? um, Ahsoka's not a show I've exactly been excited for, but then again, Star Wars lately just hasn't gotten me excited anyway. But I don't know, maybe this trailer will sway me.
Excuse me. Don't treat Andor in such disrespect. You freaking loved Andor.
I was wrong about Andor, that's for sure.
And you were wrong. So maybe
I'll
have a
give
little bit
them
of an open mind now moving forward. Maybe Ahsoka will also you'll be wrong about, pal. I'm very curious to see Sabine, to see any of these characters come back. If we're going to get a tease of Ezra, if we're going to get a tease of Thrawn, I'm really curious. So let's get into this here. They're supposed to be, yeah. Have you not paid attention to any of the casting?
No.
This guy. That's just weird because we've talked about it on the podcast, Kyle.
Probably, and I'm so tired. I just woke up.
All right, let's get into this. A 1, a 2, and a 3. Oh, there we go.
Something's coming. Something dark.
Ooh.
I sense it.
That was cool.
This is a new beginning.
There she is. There she is. Wow.
War. For others.
What? We're just getting Chopper and Harris and Dula this summer. Let's go.
It's been a while.
That's the plan.
Things have changed.
Wow.
I started hearing whispers about Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
Let's go.
We have to prepare for the worst. The Jedi fell a long time ago.
This looks awesome.
There aren't many left.
Perhaps it is time to begin again.
Okay. All right. Holy moly, Kyle, what in the world did you think? And if you poo-poo all over this, you're going to make me cry.
I mean, judging by how you reacted, I think there's going to be a lot of other Star Wars fans that really like this trailer.
Here we go.
And I get it. Like, it is really edited well to where you get excited to see Ahsoka not only in live action, but just on her own solo adventure. I mean, it is crazy, even for a casual fan like me who has been able to watch like Clone Wars and Rebels, see how far this character has come from not being a good character to being a great character, to being almost one of the best in Star Wars by a lot of Star Wars fans' standards.
True.
So for Rosario Dawson, to get Rosario Dawson, an actress like her, to play this character and then do a really good job doing it, it is something really cool and something really special to see. And for that, I hope with Dave Filoni in charge, for loving this character, for this character being his baby, that this show does become really, really good. But in the back of my mind, I feel myself being burned by Boba Fett's and Obi-Wan's, which is another character that's beloved, but that show didn't quite work out so well. Mandalorian Season 3 is mixed, to say the least. So I think, unfortunately, I can't love this trailer, but that's because I'm being biased right now in feeling the fatigue of what Star Wars has kind of failed to do in making it special lately. Andor aside, Andor is terrific, but I do think this trailer does get people hyped because it is edited really well. But outside of that, I don't know. I just kept having those thoughts in the back of my mind. So I'm not much fun to talk about for this one, but I want to hear your thoughts because you're going to have a lot better things to say.
I will say on Obi-Wan and Boba Fett, I think Boba Fett is a clear miss of a show. I don't think Obi-Wan is. I think Obi-Wan has some of the best Star Wars moments maybe ever. I think it has a lot that doesn't work overall though. But I don't think it necessarily doesn't hit as bad nearly as much as the same. And I don't think Mando season 3 so far is on the same level of what Boba Fett was, unfortunately. Um, but for this trailer, I freaking loved it. I thought this was phenomenal. I mean, there's nothing not to love here. It really should have just been called Rebels, the next season or whatever, because we got everybody in here. I mean, Harrison Dula, Chopper is coming back. Satine looked phenomenal. Or Sabine, sorry. I always confuse those two. Sabine looked great. And I think this adventure, we know Ezra's in this show. I think Ezra will be something they save for a final trailer, or they're going to save for the show. I hope they kind of save it for the show. It looks like they're doing that with Thrawn, but teasing him. The action looked great. It looked old school Star Wars to me. Dave Filoni, I trust. He doesn't have a misfire. He didn't make Boba Fett. He produced Boba Fett. He said, you're going to make a Boba Fett show. We're going to throw Mando in one episode, and that's basically it. So I think Dave Filoni, this is his chance to really prove that he is worthy of this now movie he has gotten. If you have been paying attention to Star Wars Celebration, I have a feeling his movie might be an Ahsoka movie. And maybe that's the next step, and maybe it's going to continue to follow during this time. I'm really curious to see if they're going to bring Snoke into this at all, because they called Thrawn heir to the Empire here based off of the book trilogy, which is EU canon, or extended universe canon now, and it's a phenomenal series. And I'm curious to see if maybe they'll bring Snoke in a little bit to try to. I think that they're doing that in Mando. They're talking a lot about cloning. I really think they are trying to help not reveal the mystery of some of the stuff from this new trilogy, but just help make it feel like it was a little bit, make it a little bit better, because there's so much stuff that was done so poorly, and Snoke being one of them in the sequel trilogy. I wonder if they bring him in as an experiment that Thrawn is working on in case he doesn't make it or something. But I loved everything about this. That shot of her throwing the sabers in and spinning them around and falling down from the fights. Whoever the Sith is, who's very robotically blocking blaster bolts, I thought looked great. I want to see what kind of calculating, evil this is. I'm pumped. I think this show looks great, and Dave I trust right now. So yeah. Any other thoughts, Kyle?
I did want to pick your brain if you have a quick minute on
Sure.
if you're excited for, and we'll probably talk about this on the podcast too, but if you're excited for them to kind of continue the story of Rebels that left as a cliffhanger. For myself, I like a little bit of mystery, so I was always okay with that not being answered. So I'm just curious
You and
about
J.J.
if you
Abrams,
and other
man.
Star Wars fans feel differently. But this will probably be a bigger discussion later.
If they make a good product, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's the simple answer at the end of the day. If the show's
Mm-hmm.
good, it does not matter whether there's mystery or not. The show ends with, spoilers if you haven't seen Rebels, but the show ends with Ahsoka and Sabine ready to go find Ezra. And it looks like they have separated since then. I want to know why they separated. I want to know why they stopped looking for Ezra. Did they feel that Ezra had died? Did they feel Thrawn had died? Did they just give up? I am always open to more stories as long as they're good. Do I think Star Wars needs to go in a direction away from the Skywalker characters? Yes. But that doesn't mean we can't go to other characters like Ahsoka and flesh out this story. Again, I trust Dave. I think this looks great. But yeah, we can discuss
Okay.
more of it this weekend for sure. Maybe
Yeah.
we'll get the Tan Men back. But all right, guys, what did you think? Comment below, let us know. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. And as always, thanks for watching, Mom.
See you guys.